What the fuck was that bullshit? So here we go, folks. Here we go, my review of one of my most anticipated horror movies of this year. I had hopes, people. I had fucking hopes that this was going to be in my horror list for my top 10 horror movies. I had a spot picked out for it. Wow. So let's get into The Strangers, Chapter 1 of this, I'm going to assume, shit-ass trilogy. Oh, boys, folks. So, in case you guys don't know, The Strangers is a horror movie that is near and dear to my heart. I love The Strangers, the first movie, and I'm not as hard on the second movie, and me and PB will be doing a watch-along on Tuesday of this, but oh boy, was I not prepared for the absolute pile of shit that this movie was going to be. So, the original Strangers was based on true-ish events, different things that happened, and it starred Liv Tyler and Scott Speedman. I love that name. Go check out our review for that. It'll be a lot more fun than this. So, The Strangers, Chapter 1, 2024 release of a 3-part trilogy already filmed in the bin. And this movie is fucking atrocious. This has got to be... I honestly thought I was angry with Taro, but the thing with Taro was I didn't expect much from the movie. I expected not my time to be fucking wasted, but oh boy, if you thought Taro was bad, Strangers just said, hold my beer, I can be worse. This movie is a fucking abomination, and it brings such shame to the name of The Strangers. This movie isn't The Strangers. This movie should be called The Fucking Jump Scare, because all this movie does is exactly every single thing the first movie did, but shittier. This movie is a fucking abomination. I hated this movie so much. So the first thing about this movie you should know, and this is non-spoilers, even though spoiling this would fucking save you the $15 that I fucking wasted on this giant pile of horse shit. Okay, I love The Strangers because The Strangers did something you should do in a horror movie, and that is it builds tension. This movie does not build tension. This movie and the director does not know what the fuck tension is. This movie is literally the thing that I talk about in horror movies with one fucking jump scare after another. But I'm getting ahead of myself, and I try to organize this in a coherent manner, but I'm off script on this one. These are my initial pissed off thoughts. Like, if I took the time to give a shit about this movie and organize my thoughts about this film, maybe it'd be a little bit more coherent. So I might be all over the place in this review, but my God, this movie is fucking bad. This movie, like, so with Taro, and I saw that, and you guys heard my rant about that. I at least had 1 or 2 scenes. So let me start with my very short list of what I like about this movie. The ending. That's it. That's all I got. I try to be nice. I try to give movies at least one thing I like. This is like if you took the original The Strangers and you just shit all over it, or you put modern jump scares and modern horror movie making into a movie. That's what this fucking movie is. It has nothing new to offer to the story. Now, the director and everybody teased that there were going to be these big reviews. Spoiler alert, there is no fucking big reviews in this. There's no questions answered, and there's only one thing that hooks you, and it's the most fucking ridiculous thing, and I can't tell you because it's a spoiler. Hey, Carmen, how are you? Welcome to the rant. I'm going to be talking about The Strangers Chapter 1. Don't worry, no spoilers, even though it's a fucking piece of shit. So, this movie, The Strangers, was directed by Renny Harlin. So let's take a look at Renny over here. Renny Harlin has done Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Dream Masters, which is pretty good. The Adventures of Ford Freeland, have no clue. Die Hard 2, which is debated amongst a lot of people. Cliffhanger, which is one of my favorite action movies. And The Long Kiss. Okay, he's a decent director. But this fucking screenplay writer, Alan R. Cohen, should be fucking hung from the top of a fucking bridge by his ankles. This is the worst movie ever. No, that her being in it wouldn't make this movie worse or good. This movie is atrocious. So anyways, this is by Lion Gates, who owns The Strangers. Chapter 2 is going to be out May 17th. Fucking yay. And chapter 3 doesn't have a release date. I really hope they don't release these other ones. This movie fucking sucks. This movie makes my experience with Tarot on my top 10 worst horror movies of 2024. Tarot actually gets brought down the list because this fucking pile of shit was worse in every fucking way. So who's in this fucking abomination of a movie? This movie stars Brian Bernito and Madeline Pascal, who, if you don't know, had her fame from Riverdale. And I gotta say, Madeline and Brian Barnito actually do a fucking decent job. They somewhat act until the script totally fucks their characters into oblivion. So what is the premise? If you've seen The First Strangers, it's the fucking same thing. It's the exact fucking same thing, except for little tweaks. That's it. You've seen The First Strangers movies? If you want to see somebody do a shittier version of that in 2024, this is your movie. It is the exact same fucking template, except for if you threw in fucking jump scares and those fucking stupid things they do where someone picks up a phone and they go, dumb. Why? She's answering a phone call. There's nothing scary happening. Why the fuck do you need a jump scare? This fucking piece of shit was nonstop fucking jump scares every 5 fucking minutes. And it agitates me because it gives me a massive fucking headache when I'm sitting next to the speaker and every 5 seconds I hear, dong. There are some moments legitimately, hey, lovely Sherry, good to see you. I'm sorry, I'm on a rant here, but welcome. This is not going to be a good review. And spoiler, if you can't tell, don't go and see this fucking piece of shit. Don't waste money on it. As a matter of fact, stream this fucking thing free. I'm about to tear this movie a new asshole. This movie wasted a goddamn hour and a half I will never fucking get back. Anyways, so this movie, I can't spoil for you. Literally, I cannot spoil this movie. If you saw the 2008 Strangers, you've seen this fucking movie. There is absolutely, positively nothing fucking new. This is almost, with a few tweaks, literally shot for shot of the original movie. But they said, hey, how can we make The Strangers in 2024 and do it shittier? I got it. We'll put in a young cast of actors, totally fuck them over with shitty dialogue and shitty scene setup, and then we'll throw in some jump scares, make 3 of them, and call it a fucking day. This is the worst instance of people doing something in the laziest fucking way imaginable. There is no creativity to this movie whatsoever. There are no fucking scares. The one good scare that was in the fucking trailer when Madeline Pascal was taking a shower or whatever, and the dude's sitting there watching her, they ruin it by putting in a fucking jump scare. Why? The Strangers was masterful because there was no sound. That was the whole point of the original Strangers movie. The thing that was the creepiest, and me and PB commented this on my watch along, was that the darkness and the lack of sound is what makes that movie terrifying. The fact that you never know where these fucking people are. And oh, by the way, you thought it was bad in the first movie that they appeared out of nowhere. Literally, they fucking teleport in this movie because I have no fucking clue where the fuck anybody comes from. because it's not even a different stranger, right? Like in the original movie where they mixed it up and, oh, you ran into Dollface, you ran into Pinup Girl, you ran into Baghead, and there was 3 of them, so it made sense from that. No, it's the same fucking person. They were over here outside and end up in the fucking house. No fucking reason, no explanation. How the fuck did they get there? We don't know. Fuck it. What's filmmaking? We don't need explanations. Horror fans are fucking stupid. They'll just buy into anything. Fuck it. Don't even bother making sense. And, oh, do they actually answer who Tamara is? Nope. No fucking. And, oh my God, and Jesus fucking Christ. So in the original movie, they knock on the door and they say, is Tamara there? And the whole thing about that line was that Tamara was them kind of casing the place out. You don't really know if this person even existed or whatever it was. They sent one person. They do that line 3 fucking times in this movie, which tells me that they had no fucking clue what the point of the original movie was at all. It was just their interpretation, like, oh, that's just creepy. That sounds awesome. Let's fucking have them knock on the door and the windows and say it 5 fucking times. It ruins the whole aspect and the point that the original director was making with that fucking scene. This movie is the worst example of shit being rebooted. Like, this was happening in the early 2000s with Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Friday the 13th and all these other ones, but at least they were trying to be somewhat creative. This literally should be plagiarism with the way they fucking ripped off this movie. They put in just enough where you can go, oh, it's The Strangers Chapter 1, but it's literally the same fucking movie being done again. Like, this is an hour-and-a-half exercise of me not losing my shit and cursing at the screen. And oh my God, the fucking people in this movie, the 2 fucking people in this whole film, and they are the worst fucking protagonists in the fucking world. It's just like, the setup of the original worked because the strangers cornered Liv Tyler and Scott Speedman to where they couldn't get out. This movie doesn't do that because the fucking moron who wrote the script for this movie didn't understand what the first movie did so well. And if you're going to wholesale rip off something, then you need to understand the context of the scenes that happen. You can't just do the same exact fucking scene without knowing why the scene is there. So these people have 3 or 4 fucking different times to get out of this fucking house, and they don't, which then takes them from being these trapped, helpless victims to just fucking morons. There's literally scenes, and like I said, this isn't spoilers, but I would suggest not seeing this piece of shit. There are literally scenes where this is the horror movie people talk about where they go, oh man, why the fuck doesn't you go out the window? Like, this is that movie. This is that movie where you're yelling at the person to do the most obvious fucking thing. And the strangers are not smart in this one. They don't do any of the same shit they did in the first movie. So oh my God. Okay, so this isn't even spoilers. This happens in the beginning. I don't give a fuck. This movie fucking sucks. If you don't want to be spoiled on one stupid fucking moronic scene, then old listen. But okay, I have to tell it to you like this so you understand the level of stupidity we are dealing with. There is a scene where there's a window, a perfectly good window, and the fucking strangers are on the other side of the house. And dude, instead of going out the window, says, why don't we go out the front door? What? You mean the front door where the big dude with the axe is fucking... The front door? You have a perfectly good window with no fucking drop at all? And your fucking brilliant idea is to go out the fucking front door? Who goes out the front door? There's jokes about that. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my God, this was so fucking dumb. This was the worst fucking... I have to say, this makes Blumhouse films look like a fucking masterpiece. I was fucking too hard on Imaginary and Night Swim. I didn't even want to fucking review them, but at least they fucking tried. This movie took every fucking scary beat and they said, how can we do this shittier? And they did the worst possible version they could do. Fuck The Strangers Chapter 2. I don't even want to see it. Only dumb people go out the front door. Thank you, Carmen. You know that. You'd survive in this movie. This movie was an exercise in just stupidity all the way around. And now I've heard some people say that the chemistry between the two leads wasn't there. And if I had another fucking positive for the movie, the two people who are involved in this situation, it's weird, but there is something there. There is actually a decent enough chemistry, and I wouldn't even notice it if the rest of the movie just did the fucking thing it was supposed to do. And if you're going to copy a movie scene for scene, then at least copy it in the way it was originally wrote. Otherwise, people who have seen the original movie and know that you're wholesale copying this will pick apart everything you're doing wrong. And that's what happens in this movie. So what's the premise of the movie? See the synopsis for the first fucking movie, because basically it's the premise, except for instead of a cabin in the woods and a bridal shower in the beginning of the movie, it's just they rent an Airbnb for the weekend, and these two have been together for 5 years. That's the only fucking difference. Nothing else in this movie is new or changed, except for a couple of different things they do, and I'm not going to give spoilers because God forbid I spoil this fucking piece of shit. I'd rather you just fucking suffer like I did for an hour and a half through this fucking trash movie. This movie is bad. Like, this isn't even Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, I can get fucked up. Woo, that's hilarious. This is bad. This is bland. It's generic. It's fucking boring. The dialogue, oh my God, the dialogue in this movie is fucking bad. Oh my God, like, the words they say make no goddamn sense. And there's some lines in the original, but it's like, that doesn't work here because it's out of context. It doesn't make sense to the scene. That worked in the original because there was setup. You didn't fucking set it up. So this line doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't know who the fuck was smoking shit when they wrote this. They must have been smoking the best shit in the world, because they thought that when they dropped the lines that they dropped throughout this movie, that I could picture the dude going, oh man, this shit is gonna be so terrifying. This is so fucking scary. I'm gonna knock their fucking socks off with this. Oh man, those horror fans won't see it coming. No, you're a fucking idiot. You're fucking dumb. I'm sorry. I hate to actively attack the person who writes and directs these, but you should be ashamed, sir. You should never get a job working on a horror movie ever again. Ever. Please, God, do not hire fucking Alan R. Cohen. He sucks fucking dick at writing, and Alan Freeman, too, can also eat a dick. You're fucking terrible. All of you people should be ashamed of yourself. And I don't blame this on Rennie Harlan. He's just directing the movie. That poor bastard had to look at the script and go, oh, fuck me. Really? You want me to shoot this? But shouldn't we? No. This is genius. We got a fucking banger here. We've got a hit. All right, you direct what we wrote on the screen because this is fucking brilliant. No, it's not. This is fucking garbage. This movie is fucking trash. Oh my God, Tarot is like a 10 to me now. Like, at least it had something unique. Like, I bitched that the jump scares and the PG-13 and cutting away was kind of garbage. This had a fucking R rating, and guess what? Just because you have a rated R doesn't mean you're any good either. This movie's fucking worse. And oh my God, I could not even tell you a scene they tried to do without fucking spoiling it, but there's a scene they try to do which is pivotal to the first movie, but because of the way they set it up, it makes no fucking sense. No sense in this film, because the way it was done in the first film, there was a connection to the characters. In this one, they do the same exact scene, but it's not important to the characters. So it's like, oh, that's what you're ripping us off from. It was like, when I watched this movie, I go, yep, that's from the first movie. That's from the first movie. That's not even placed right. Oh, yeah, this is the part you're doing this. It was, oh my God, what a fucking waste of time. I actually wanted this movie to succeed. I wanted to be happy. I wanted to come on here and tell you, hey guys, dude, fucking nailed it. I'm so fucking happy. Yeah, shit, I'd rather have spoilers than waste money on a bad movie. Spoiled it. Spoil it. Okay, so just I'm gonna give you a spoiler warning now. If you want to go see this fucking piece of shit, go ahead. I'll give you my rating. It's a fucking 2 out of 10, and I'll give it 2 for the fucking actors. And there were some good cinematic shots. This movie is garbage. Don't waste your fucking money. Don't waste your sanity. So now I'm going to spoil some shit in here so that you know the level of stupidity you're doing for. So in the first Strangers, there was a guy who was connected to Scott Speedman, and he was the dude from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Go check out our watch along. We had some great jokes about, we just called him Dennis because we don't know the actor's actual name, but he was the best man at this fucking wedding thing. And Scott Speedman's best friend and Liv Tyler's best friend. Well, they wait in this little room for the strangers to come with a shotgun. And as soon as Dennis comes in, boom, they fucking blow him away. That's the original movie. Now, in this movie, when they try to recreate the scene, there's a guy in charge of the Airbnb. So Madeline, I don't even know her fucking name in the movie. I don't give a fuck because they didn't give a fuck about wasting my time. So I'm just going to call him by the actor's name because this movie doesn't deserve the respect of fucking looking it up. So Madeline calls this fucking Airbnb guy to tell her she's being terrified. And they do the same exact scene when they get all terrorized and the boyfriend comes back and they're waiting in the room with a shotgun. And when the dude comes in, they shoot him. But now here's the problem with this scene is the fact that the Airbnb guy has no connections to the characters whatsoever. So when you take the two scenes and you look at them side by side, it doesn't make any sense because he's a random Airbnb dude. We didn't even meet this guy until literally the end of the film. So it doesn't work the same because it doesn't have the same impact. They're not friends. I didn't even know who the fuck the Airbnb guy was or what he looked like. So it doesn't fucking matter. He's not in the movie until they need him for that one scene. Now, if it was a best friend or they did what they did in the first movie and they set everything up where you could see the reception and you could see Liv Tyler and Scott Speedman arguing and then they go and all this shit happens and then you have the friend who's worried about them coming in, that makes sense. But a random dude I didn't see the whole entire fucking movie who just walks in and, by the way, just fucking walks into a house all fucked up looking like no manager on the face of the earth would do, instead of calling the cops, just fucking walks in and, hey guys, why is everything all messed up? What's going on? Boom. Random guy dead. Who thought that scene made sense? Who was in the writing room doing a cut of this movie and they said, you know what? We just need random Airbnb guy. Yeah, people will really connect to him. Well, are we going to show him the rest of the movie? No. That's too much money. We already have 2 people in shitty costume designs, and we got to recreate the first movie scene for scene and not have any creativity. So no, fuck that. We'll bring him in at the end. We'll have extra Joe there who gets coffee. We'll have him just jump in the scene really quick, shoot him. It's all good. That's a fucking wrap. Like, are you kidding me? Did anyone plan this out? Did anyone look at this script? This feels like a first pass. This literally feels like the first draft. And then you have someone come in and fucking touch up the script and tighten shit up and go, okay, well, if we're going to copy this, then we got to do this. We got to do... No, they skipped that whole part. They just got the script and they said, this fucker looks good. Done. Oh my fucking God, this movie. Oh my God, fucking 2. This movie is fucking 2 out of 10. I got such a fucking headache. I got a headache literally from the fucking speakers in my ear and the fucking nonstop jump scare palooza. This movie is terrible. All it's got is jump scares, loud noises, and stupid fucking people. That's it. And it's 2 people. How do you fuck up a horror movie with a cast of 2 people? How does that happen? This is like a layup. This is independent movies literally shoot like this because it's easier to have a controlled environment with 2 people and 1 location. How do you fuck that up? It baffles my fucking mind. And you literally steal the original? Even on some fundamental level, just fucking copying and pasting, you should hit something by the law of averages. But no, it literally, it's like, literally like, just goes, okay, I can fuck this up worse. Hold my beer. Every shitty movie that came out in 2024, we got you. Now, I never put stock in Rotten Tomatoes or anybody else, but this has an 18%, and I couldn't fucking agree more. This movie is a slap in the face and quite actually almost a disgrace to the name of Strangers. This isn't the Strangers Chapter 1. This is the fucking Idiots Chapter 1. And I'm going to be honest, I have no interest in seeing Chapter 2 or 3 because the hook at the end is so fucking stupid. It makes no fucking sense to what the premise of the movie is that I got to the end of it and I was like, okay. I was literally checking my fucking watch and we were at the last 10 minutes and I go, oh, thank Christ. They can't possibly do anything else stupider. Zod, you have 10 more fucking minutes and then this is done and you could do your fucking rant. But no, they fucking topped themselves at the very fucking end of the movie with the little gotcha moment that they had to fucking throw in there. Warning, this is a spoiler. The fucking girl doesn't fucking die. They do the same thing they did with Liv Tyler, but it made sense in the original 2008 movie because she was fucking stabbed to death with Scott Speedman, and the thing that was shocking about that was she was still in the fucking house on the floor bleeding to death, and she jumps up and goes, ah! And they leave it to your imagination whether she lives or dies. That was the genius. But no, you want to know what they do with this? She wakes up in the hospital. What the fuck? I wasted this whole fucking time. That's your hook? I thought it was going to be something creative. Like, oh, a new group comes in and then they could move on, or they're doing an anthology. No, they literally, from beginning to end, do the laziest fucking bullshit they can do. With how many times she got fucking stabbed, that is horseshit. That is fucking shenanigans. It's garbage. It makes no goddamn sense. So right till the fucking end was a stupid fest for me. A stupid, does not make sense, stupid fest. I was just like, oh my God, this is, nope, they're not joking. There's the fucking credits. There's the fade to black. This is really... The biggest thing that pisses me off about this is I didn't give a shit about Imaginary. I kind of knew Tarot was going to be a shit show, and I did it for fun because every now and again I like to go off on things. I wanted to like this movie. God, I tried. I gave a lot of leeway in the beginning of this film to some stupid shit they were already setting up. And I said, no, Zod, no, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. Nope. It's going to get better. Nope, it's not. Nope. And as it went on, it just got worse and worse and fucking worse. And I know a lot of people who come on and they rate horror, either they don't like it or whatever else. Most reviewers and mainstream reviewers don't like horror, and I get that. But I fucking love horror. And I know I'm a stickler, and I know when you go into some of these things, you got to expect some stuff. But when you take something that people really like and you're wholesale ripping off the first movie, then if you don't do a good job, I got to critique you. And if you're so close to the original, then I have to compare you to the original because you're literally ripping off the original in every fucking way you possibly can. And if you fuck it up, then I'm sorry. I've got to call it out because you invited the comparison. And look, the actors were fine. That's what sucks. Madeline, whatever the fuck, she was good. She was good in Riverdale. I had no problems with her acting. She's actually was way better than Riverdale deserved. I feel bad. This is what she went from Riverdale to this fucking piece of shit. When I first saw it, I thought, oh my goodness, good for her. She's actually going into an established franchise. Good going. But She went from one bad project to whatever the fuck this is. And it sucks because she is decent in this movie. I guess my second good thing, if I had to say, and this factors into my 2 out of 10, is that she's actually fucking competent in this movie. But that's not saying much because this whole movie is fucking incompetent. Like, really, I feel bad for the actors. Because if they had a better script, I think they would have done their role serviceable, like what a horror movie requires. I mean, they're not going for any awards. We're not talking Jamie Lee Curtis performance, but it's serviceable. But this fucking script lets them down every fucking step of the way. And honestly, the script writers, the story writer, and the screenwriter should be ashamed of themselves. I mean, even Rennie Harlan's directing is good. And I want to get this clear. When these movies fail, sometimes it's not on the director. If the camera work is shaky and shit's fucked up, then yes, it is on. He's got a lot of good shots in this movie. That's not the issue. The fucking story and the way it's set up is fucking atrocious. The writer did not understand the original and just said, fuck it, I'm going to do my own interpretation. I'd almost be less pissed off if this was just its own thing. Because then I could be like, well, they got the name and they used the characters, but you know what? Fuck it. They tried something. I didn't personally like it. But, you know, it is what it is. Maybe somebody else will. But no, this is wholesale ripoff. This was like, if I did this on YouTube, I would have a fucking copyright claim and they'd take my fucking channel ripoff. Like, this is as close to the line of plagiarism as you can get. Right down to the fucking song choices. Like, oh my God, dude. This was like a layup. This was like a fucking home run. This was a touchdown. You didn't get... This wrote itself. Whatever. Fuck it. I've ranted for a half hour. There's no more to say. It's terrible. It's bad. Don't see it. Don't waste $15 on this. Do yourself a favor. Take that $15 you were going to use to see this fucking piece of shit movie. Go, if you're with someone, buy your significant other something nice. If you're a little peckish, go out, get yourself a fucking fancy meal. Hell, you want to see a good movie? Go to fucking Amazon. Go rent Love Lives Bleeding. That's only like $10, and you get way better quality than with this film. Oh my fucking God. So will I do Chapter 2 on May 17th, 2024? If you guys want to see me go through some more fucking pain, then put it in the comments and I'll just save you more money. But honestly, if I don't have the fucking curiosity for it, I'm going to fucking skip it. This was the worst hour and a half of my life. And the only other good thing about this movie that gives it the second point is it's only an hour and a half, which I bitch about all the time. So thank God. This movie was any longer, honestly, I would have fucking walked out. And if I didn't pay fucking money for this. So, thank you everybody for watching. This movie sucks. 2 out of 10. I fucking hated it. You can listen to my long rant where I explain why if you're just jumping in. Don't waste your time on this movie. Save your fucking money. If you're fucking dating someone, take them out on a nice date. For the love of God, don't take them to see this movie. And if you're alone, then go out to a fancy restaurant and fucking treat yourself. Don't endorse this fucking movie. I don't know what they're going to do with those other 2 movies, but hopefully they go straight to fucking DVD or VOD. This is atrocious. I honestly do not want to see the second movie in theaters or I will fucking sneak in. I am not going to fucking give these people any fucking money because they don't deserve it, and I want to give them as much as they put into this film, which is fucking nothing. They did nothing. Nothing new. They fucking plagiarized the original. They made it shittier, and they took everything out that made it scary and just sucked the fucking soul out of it and said, here you go, you fucking dumb consumer. Eat this shit up. And you know what? I've had my fill of shit for one day. So fuck you. I'm not gonna fucking endorse the rest of your fucking shitty trilogy. This is the exact template for how you fucking do something wrong. So fuck you very much to the fucking people who wrote this screenplay. Fuck you to the people who fucking wrote the scene structures. And you know what? I'm sorry, Rennie Harlin, that you got saddled with this piece of shit movie because you're actually a decent director. And I'm sorry that these two actors, that their first fucking movie is a pile of shit. I really feel bad for them, but they should fire their agent and get a new one. Thank you very much. If you enjoyed this review, hit that like button. If you're new, subscribe. You get more rants like this. If you are interested in me doing a review for part fucking 2 on May 17th, let me know in the comments. God, I really don't want to, but I will. I like to suffer for you guys. So that's when the next pile of shit, same fucking year, that comes out. So we'll fucking see. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. I will be here later to do something I actually like. I'm going to do my season 2 of Barry review. It's going to be kind of long, so I'll be doing that live stream tonight. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. And as always, remember the only rule here in the Fandom Zone: kneel before Zod.